Welcome back to yet another special edition of Engr here on RFA TV. Yes, of course, I am talking about the very show that brings you the best of the best foreign, bring your celebrities to your screen and every other premium content that's you ever wished, to see on your screen. It's another Friday. Yeah, thank God it's Friday. Another weekend is upon us. What's up with you? How are we spending this weekend? Are we staying indoors or we've got somewhere to, go to? Maybe an Owambe, house party, birthday party, burial, what is it? Or you want to go give yourself a solo special treatment. Okay, whatever it is, my own priority is you having yourself a fantabulous weekend. Now, talking about this week has been an amazing week because in the spirit of, telling the beautiful story of 042, the month of August is the 042 month here in Afia, and in the spirit of celebrating 042, telling her unique story, we started our broadcasting for this week on a different note. If you were with us throughout Monday, you would attest that on Monday we had outside broadcasting. Yeah, we broadcasted outside the studios of Afia TV. We were live at Tekknopolis. And guess what? Today, we are back here in the studio. We came back on Tuesday. And the persons we went to meet on Monday, they are here with us today. It's going to be a great time. All you need to do is just to stick around. Make sure you do not go anywhere because we're going to be going on a short break. When we come back, it's going to be the full show. My name is Rochelle, and once again, I welcome you to yet another wonderful edition of Engr. We're going to be right back. Make sure you do not go anywhere. Welcome back. You are still watching Engr right here on RFA TV. Yeah, there's the last edition for this week, and I am super excited to be here and also, to know that you are joining us wherever you are for the very last edition of this show for this week. Yeah, we started off something during the week, and tonight we're going to be wrapping it up in a very special way because we have got ourselves a high-profile personality right here in the studio with us, and he's going to be walking us through his lifestyle. If you know this person, this is the time for you to stay very glued to your screen because you're going to be finding out a whole lot about his personality, how this amazing journey started. And who is this person I am talking about? He is no other than the Executive Director, Public Utility Resources Africa, PURA, and he's also the President of Tekknopolis Innovation Hub. His name is Engineer Dr. Chidi Diugwu. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm fine. I love the smile on your face.
Thank you very much.
So does that mean that you are excited to be here?
Very, very excited to be here.
That's awesome. Is this the first time of visiting Afia?
Exactly. That's my first
Wow.
time.
So how does it feel over here?
I feel warm.
Okay.
And also to be associated with your success.
Okay.
I've seen your work. I've watched you.
Okay.
And I'm thrilled to see that you are bringing perspectives to the life of the people of the Southeast.
Of the Southeast. Thank you very much for those beautiful words. And we also, appreciate your presence right here and all you've been able to do. We're going to be finding out about them and how it all got started. So you are, like I defined you, a high-profile person. I don't want to talk much about that. I just wanted to just leave it there. So it's indeed our pleasure to have you here. Once again, welcome.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so you serve in different professional capacities, and one thing that I admire about you is how far you've been able to go, under those capacities, and what you have been also been able to achieve for yourself, the milestones, the successes, and the achievements. So before we, go into them one after the other, let's walk through, can you walk us through your early life, your background, where you're from, what life was like growing up, let's know those juicy things about you.
I'm the second son, of a headmaster, if you like.
A headmaster? Oh, okay.
A school teacher.
Okay.
Yeah. So my parents taught, throughout their life. And we were brought up in that environment where we had to also key into reading, writing, farming, social works, and all that.
Okay.
So I finished off my secondary school, then entered university, studied electronic engineering, and then worked with a British company in Nigeria that is into telecommunications. Then it was called the General Plexi Telecommunications, GEC, Plexi Telecommunications. And then after that, I was privileged to secure a scholarship, a British Council scholarship, to study overseas.
Wow.
Yeah, so I read masters in operational telecommunications at the University of Coventry, from where I proceeded to read my PhD at the University of Kent, Canterbury, where I obtained a PhD in mobile and broadband communications. So upon returning to Nigeria, I joined, I was an advisor to one of the ministers.
Oh, wow.
Late Dora Kunili. I was a technical advisor when she was the Minister of Communications. And then I joined the regulator, the NCC, working in the engineering aspect of the communications industry. And then I recently retired voluntarily.
Voluntarily?
To live my private life, yes.
Oh, okay. Do you mind me asking, why you decided to retire voluntarily and just live your private life? What actually happened? Why that kind of decision?
Well, that's very good. That's a very good question, actually. Well, I believe that, I have a lot of things to offer in my personal capacity.
Okay.
That I would like to have the space and the time to explore before I retire from, whatever you might call, active service. So I've faced my life. I worked privately, worked for the government, and now I want to work for myself before I retire.
Okay, finally. So working for yourself, what are the things that you are doing right now for yourself?
Now, it's a combination of many things.
All right,
I'm combining all my experiences.
Okay.
Having worked as an operator, as a regulator, as a salesman, as an advisor, as a teacher, and all that, so I'm combining them into one.
Oh, you also worked as a teacher?
Yes, I'm actually an adjunct senior lecturer at the University of Port Harcourt.
Oh, wow, that's a great one.
I did lecture at the University of Kent, when I was doing my PhD.
Okay.
And in my spare time, I've got a lot of people that I teach, pro bono. And as you have gathered by now, I'm the president of Tekknopolis. So Tekknopolis is, the physical location is here in Enugu, 41 Colliery Avenue. And what we are trying to achieve there is to upskill the youths in digital technology and to ensure that there's smooth innovation, transition, incubation, acceleration, and transfer of technology in a very seamless manner. So right now, Tekknopolis is starting with Junior Tech Lab. We have about 20, 30 students now that we're teaching 3D animations, robotics, artificial intelligence, virtual realities, augmented systems, and then autonomous systems. The idea is to begin to prepare the youths to take over their digital rights and be digitally inclusive, as it will. That is as far as Tekknopolis is concerned.
Okay.
But then I also trying to see how I could work with the regulators and the operators, and then work with the operators and the consumers to ensure that the utility industry is progressing. So if I should use my constituency, which is telecommunications as an example, you will agree with me that telecommunications has really superseded expectations. And that is because of the type of framework that has been put in place by successive executive vice chairman of NCC. So NCC is a huge success. But then NCC is not the only public utility that we have in Nigeria. So we have got the water, we have got the transportation, we've got the almighty electricity sector.
Okay.
So the idea is to be able to to mimic some of the successes that we have recorded in telecom industries, and transfer them to other sectors. So let me stop there until we go further. So that's what I'll be doing as the executive director of the Public Utility Resource Africa.
Okay.
There's a whole lot to it.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, talking about tech, right? You said your company is here in Enugu, and I can't remember when exactly, but I remember having this conversation with someone, and the person tried comparing Southeast and Southwest and South embrace of technology, because it's like the new oil money right now.
Yes.
Yeah, it is a new oil money, if you permit me to say that. So the person expressed worries about how, Southeast are kind of lagging behind in terms of embracing it. So as someone that's fully into it, I want to hear from you. How has it been with what you've seen with the youth? Like, how eager are they to adopt the technology, come learn? They have different skills on the technology. There are so many of them. So how eager are they? What's the readiness like, if you were to rate it? How is it?
Well, the network readiness index is what you've just defined.
Okay.
And then you are comparing the Southeast with other regions in terms
I'm not even comparing, but I'm just asking, because the person said that. So now that I've seen someone that is really into it, I want to know, at least using Enugu, since you've been here in Enugu, what have you actually observed here in Enugu?
Okay, so the readiness will be defined. I'll use 4 indices to define the readiness.
Okay.
1, I'll talk about technology. And I'll begin, by saying that access to technology is very important. And if we're talking about digitalization and digital inclusion, we're talking about the ability for you to have access to networks. You will know by now that all our undersea cables landed in Lagos. The cables that connect us to the wall, all of them landed in Lagos. And then they had to be taken to the hinterlands via optic fiber cables, or if you like, aerially, through microwaves. And in each journey from Lagos to other hinterlands, a whole lot of things can happen. It could be vandalization, it could be obstruction, unavailability of rights of way for the operators to be able to pass their cables. So it could be power problems, and so on and so forth. In the first instance, accessibility could be a hindrance. So oftentimes we find out that some parts of Nigeria, not only Southeast, other than Lagos, experience a lot of downtime. You get the point?
Yeah.
And I've just defined for you the factors that could affect availability of the bandwidth commodity, which enables you access into the internet. Then, apart from having access to technology, it's very important that you look at the content. What content are we creating that we want to feed the internet with? So most content creators are in Lagos. As you know, Lagos is very vibrant.
Yeah.
Best places in Africa that thrive. And again, I cannot explain that, in other than fact to say that perhaps because they have more access to the availability of bandwidth commodity.
Okay.
And also because Lagos is a digital economy compared to every other city.
All right.
Okay, it's a knowledge-based economy, if you like, and I'm so proud to know that Lagos is really ranking one of the best cities in Africa. So the content you create reflects the environment that you are in. So the people of the Southeast will need to pay attention to creating content that they can now monetize, having access to the internet. And then also about future technologies. How do we use future technologies? How do you deploy future technologies? There are very simple ones that we can do.
Okay.
Using technology to track crimes, to fight crimes, to learn, to upskill ourselves. Applying digital technology in our trading, in our manufacturing, and all that. Now that is as far as technology is concerned. But then the people, let us define, the second aspect of digital inclusion is the people. Okay, the people, for example, are divided into 3. the individuals. How ready are the individuals to imbibe new technology? Then the government, what are the regulatory frameworks? Are there trust policies that can enable people to believe that, okay, government is really on top of their game? Enugu State, as far as I'm concerned, is going to rank amongst the best in the next 2 to 3 years. If you've been observing what is going on in the state, the way they are trying to work with regulators and work with some small companies to wire the city, do smart cities, put CCTV cameras, create peaceful environment for people to thrive. See, that is the readiness of the government to transform the state. And then the businesses. The business is the test strand as far as people are concerned. Now, we talk about governance. Governance will have to do with the trust, the regulation that we have. And then the inclusion. How are we included? The people living with disabilities, do we have access? Do they have access to technologies? Do we have assistive technologies that are going to help them to be inclusive? Mm-hmm. Then even when we are on the internet, how digitally are you defended? I'm not talking about online activities.
Yeah.
How are children protected online, for example? What are the roles of the parents protecting their children online? So Lagos for me is very much awake to these realities, and then they practice them at least much more than every other part of the country. Lastly is the impact. So we measure the impact based on how it has been able to compact other economies. Think of Lagos, for example. It's a financial hub of Nigeria. There's nothing that is going on in the financial services that is not digital or that is not connected to the internet, for example. So that the downtime and the availability and then the latency and whatever you use to define quality of service is in the favor of those that are in Lagos. Having said all this, let me summarize.
Okay.
By saying that for the Southeasterners, not only the Southeasterners, even the Northeast, the Northwest, and so on and so forth. South is okay because there's an undersea cable. The South Atlantic version 3 cable, called SAT3 cable, came from South Africa. And of course, it passed through Calabar, and then before it dropped at somewhere in Lagos, But other than that, you have M1, you have ACE, you have all sorts of undersea cables that are landing there. What will really happen is for the government to have an intention, to have a development plan, to be able to attract a data center here that will be able to, distribute bandwidth and then give access to the internet and create content and then create communities and then create local bandwidth and ensure that we have trust amongst ourselves. We don't have to be using Yahoo, Hotmail, blah, 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 when we can actually use Enugu.com or imostate.com or where.com and so on and so forth. So we have to register with the internet as the internet domain names in Nigeria to make sure that our traffics are kept local.
Okay.
So, in summary, accessibility and government willingly and intentionally creating that hub for interconnectivity.
Okay, all right. So you are someone that have tried, so many things. You've done a lot, even to the extent of also teaching as well. And I know it takes a lot for someone to juggle all that together. So what would you say were the things that kept you going all along before, even till this very moment that you retired to face your own personal business? What would you say kept you going throughout the years? Okay,
first, or maybe there are three things. One, my family.
Okay,
my family. My family is a pillar of my life. Okay, so,
it's amazing to hear that.
Yeah, so everything I do, is I really, have them to thank for all their wonderful contributions, one way or the other.
Okay.
And my wife is a strong lady. In my absence, she's been able to look after the children while I'm here working for Nigeria and all that. So, and the kids are doing all well.
Okay.
My son is in Goldsmith, University of London. My daughter is, she just came out from Netherlands, from the University of Maastricht. She's studying law, and then my second daughter is in the University of Lancaster, business analytics. It's quite warm to have them all around me, encouraging me all the time. But I also have my own personal life goals.
Okay.
So I've been able to define for myself the difference between success and achievement. Okay. So listening to Brian Tracy in my early life, I set goals for myself, and I've made sure that I walk along that path. And then I have a personal guide, if you like. I like the poem I came across, in my early life. It has to do with how we should embrace life. It's called Desiderata by Max Ehrmann. He's a German descent, born to German immigrants to Indiana, in about 1872, and he was a wonderful guy. Passed on about 1949, and then he talked about your relationship between you. I will put it the vertical relationship and the horizontal relationship. How you relate to God, whatever you conceive Him to be, and then how you relate to your fellow human beings. However, you think they don't know anything. So, and how you should keep interested in your career and your fortune. And then gracefully surrendering to the things of the youth. So as time goes by, you gradually surrender to the things of the youth. In the full calculated knowledge that it is as perennial as the grass. So you are the child of the universe, and you're not less than the trees and the forests. And whether or not it is clear to you, the universe is unfolding as it should. So be gentle with yourself. Be at peace with yourself. It's all my God.
Yeah, be at peace with yourself. That's a very powerful message, because you can't actually give what you don't have.
Yes.
You need to have it first before you give it out.
Yes.
Yeah, so talking about your journey, was there at any point, that your career journey became rocky? It became a little bit windy? You weren't so sure if you were going to continue with this, or you should just give up and maybe get busy with any other thing, or just live for living's sake. Did you ever experience such?
Not one, not two, not three.
Not one, not two, not three, no.
Yeah, it is the journey of life. So you must make allowances for failures. Sometimes you doubt your faith even. You doubt your faith. And sometimes you even doubt if you really know what you're doing, For myself, I started off working with a very nice company, as I mentioned earlier on, with a British company.
Okay.
As a people engineer. Where Ernest Ndukwe, the guru in telecommunications, was the first black managing director. So engineer Ernest Ndukwe taught me early in life that you have to really be on top of your game if you must remain in the industry. I've remained very consistent in the telecommunications industry. But then I left GPT at a point in my life, and I decided to learn, in accordance with Brian Tracy's principle. Why are some people successful and others are not? So, and I embarked on a journey of trying to discover myself. So I left number 5 Creek Road, I remember, or thereabouts, in Apapa. I moved to the Rowdy Marina to work with a man who was into all sorts of things. Fafadam Preswell, very astute lawyer, mathematician, gentleman from River State. And then I was I don't know what to call myself then, but I was just overseeing lots of his business, including business centers. And then I found myself building business centers for people, on the island and so on and so forth, including one, Mr. Okechukwu Jibuno, OKBs and all that. I went into partnership with him, and then after a while I felt, no, I'm not going to be doing this. So I formed a company called McHill's Nigeria Limited.
Okay.
So Marquis was my first company. So Marquis Nigeria Limited then became, in those days, I used to talk on television, AIT, teaching people how to use fax machines, blah 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 blah.
Wow,
blah, blah.
you've really gone a long
and
way.
then I was selling, I was installing PABXs, I was undertaking external line plants. I could actually install, cable the whole of Enugu, and all that. So, but then that was the first time I said to myself, look, why did I leave the British company?
Okay.
You get the point. And then,
Okay.
but I moved on. And then, as luck will have it, destiny, God's hand upon me, I secured British Council Chevening Scholarship to travel overseas to study at the University of Coventry, sponsored by the Cable and Wireless College and the Common and Foreign Word Office. That became a turning point in my life, where I began to see life differently. So, so that was the first trying period. There were other, remarkable times that I have had to doubt my faith and my journey through life. But then again, I know that God is aware that I'm here. So at the end of the day, I say to myself, God knows it all. Okay, have your faith and trust in God. Yeah. So many times I can't, even now that I'm trying to, live a new life, I encounter obstacles.
Like what sort of obstacles at this stage?
Of course, yes.
Okay.
I do. I do. What I'm doing is not a one-man show.
Okay.
It's good. There are some externalities. There's network externalities. So I have to contend with the climate, the culture of the people around me. You did mention about the speed with which they're adapting to technology, for example. So, and here you are talking to someone who is a tech catalyst. So, am I going to find the right people to do what I want to do?
Yeah.
Where am I going to go to get them? And then, so the attitude here actually is different. So.
But it's an encouraging one, or is it that bad?
It's challenging.
Challenging. Oh, okay.
It's challenging. So, but I have not started the campaign yet, but I think there's a lot of campaign that we need to do. We need to really carry a lot of awareness in the programs.
Okay.
Not me as an individual, but with you, with the revered Emeka Mba and his crew, and with the government, with the churches, with the MDAs in general.
Okay.
We need to sit down and talk about the transition, the tech transition in the Southeast. How matured are we, and how are we transiting into the emerging technology?
Okay.
And how ready? I'm glad you used that word, readiness. What is our readiness index?
Yeah.
And I've already given you the framework for the readiness index.
Yes.
I did mention access, people, impact, and governance. Those are the global indices with which you measure your speed.
Okay. Aside from work, we all have a personal life, and we have ways that we unwind.
Yes.
Yeah, and get over work wahala and stress that's always come our way, even when we'll try as much as possible to avoid them. So when you are not working, when it's not business, it's not work, how do you get to unwind?
Well, as you have gathered by now, I'm the chairman of Tekknopolis on the main.
Okay.
The restaurant that you started your campaign.
Yeah, we're there on Monday.
So I believe in the whole concept was to create an entertainment environment, an education and entertainment environment. Not so much about eating, but about people being able to connect with loved ones, having quality space and time, creating alternatives to the loud music that we hear everywhere.
Yeah.
So how do I unwind? By talking to people, by sitting down, having drinks, with friends and family, celebrating life and culture, writing,
Okay.
I was a good footballer.
Oh,
Yes,
are you serious? So why did you push that career as well?
It wasn't popular in my own time.
Okay.
It's also something that any parents will be proud to hear that their child is out there struggling to play. We were allowed to play. Well, that was, as long as we did not, as long as we came home early, to say our evening prayers and then prepare meal. And then also, my father was a farmer as well, so we spent most of our time farming. All the time. So he would take us to the village and insisted that we farmed the right way.
Do you still play right now? Do you still play football now? Okay. I don't. Okay.
But I plant trees all the time. So.
Oh, you plant trees all the time? So okay.
I'm also I don't know if you've been to Nsukka or not, but...
I've been to Nsukka, but it depends on the part you're talking about.
My wife owns the first apartment hotel in Nsukka called Cedar Court.
Okay, I don't really know that place here.
It's a serene environment where you encounter a lot of nature, if you like. It's a peaceful environment,
And I guess that was what was also replicated in Tekknopolis, because it has this kind of serenity and ambience.
Cedar Court you can't replicate Cedar Court. It's exceptional.
Okay, it's exceptional. All right.
But Tekknopolis is good. And I did all those work myself. So.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
How did you do that? How were you able to achieve that?
Well, I use my phone and I check and I know the kind of thing I want and I ask my dear friend, using my internet and all that, how would this look like? And then they showed me the picture and I modify it and all that.
Wow.
So I'm building Tekknopolis now, which is not very far from where you are.
Okay. All right.
So Tekknopolis it has a library, an ICT museum, because we need to tell the story of how telecommunications and ICT evolved. So, and then it's also going to be a co-working space, and then obviously a convention center. So we hope to be having this kind of talk, all the time, with the relevant stakeholders.
Okay. All right, no problem. Thank you very much, Engineer Dr. Chidi Diugwu, for throwing so much insight into your personality. It's really an interesting one. I must say, it's very interesting and inspiring as well, because I'm sure, like all the persons watching us right now, they are inspired one way or the other, as someone that has tried, so many things at the same time, and you were still able to achieve great results for yourself.
There was something you asked me, sorry, that I didn't answer. You say, where am I from?
You
did ask that question?
I said that, I asked it when I asked you to walk us through your
It's
early
important
life.
that I say that, because I owe everything I am today to where I come from.
Oh, where is that?
I'm from a town that is renowned for its, if you like, it's the first iron smelting industry in this part of the climb. I'm from Ledger in Nsukka local government area.
Oh, okay, you're from Nsukka.
So very soon the UNESCO is going to recognize the town. It's going to enlist our, legacy, our iron smelting site as a heritage site.
Okay.
So,
All right, that's a great one. We're going to go on a short break. When we come back, there are other things, because Nkah has different segments. It's not just a discussion segment. We have other segments for our guests. So when we come back, we're going to be finding out what is next and, the role that you are going to be playing. We're going to go on a short break right now. When we come back, Nkah continues. So make sure you stay tuned. Welcome back. You are still watching Nkah. It's the last edition for this week, and we are wrapping it up in a grand style. Yes, of course, I still have the Executive Director, Public Utility Resources Africa, and of course the President of Tekknopolis Innovation Hub, in the person of Engineer Dr. Chidi Diugwu. If you're just joining us, I'm so sorry for you, because you've missed a whole lot, but still hang around. You might still catch up with some things. So Engineer Dr. Chidi Diugwu, I hope you're okay.
Very okay.
You're very okay, right? Okay, you know why I asked this? Because we are transitioning to another segment, and this is a part where we get to play games. I hope you're going to indulge us in that. Are you?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So let's get it started. We have 3 games here on the show. First is the rating game. The second one is called This or That. And the third one is called the Impression game.
Brilliant.
Yes. So we're going to be starting with the rating game. We've got some socialites that you are going to be rating for us. So on the rating game, it's all about telling us who your best is and who your worst is.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're going to be rating these socialites from best to worst. First, we have Kingsley Ekoba Escobar Smith. Then we have Joseph Eze Okafor Jr., that's Joey Zaza. Third, Emeka Okonkwo E-Money. Fourth, Pascal Okechukwu Kubana Chief Priest. Fifth, Obi Iyebu Obi Kubana. So you are going to be rating them.
They are 2 Kubanas.
Yeah, they are Kubana Chief Priest.
Can you
and
tell me
Obi Kubana.
what they do? Just tell me, anybody call, tell me what is it that they are.
They are socialites. They are into hospitality business.
So their business is, I know Kubana, but tell me what.
Oh, you know Kubana. Okay. Also, same thing with Kubana Chief Priest. He once worked with Obi Kubana before they parted ways.
Okay.
Same thing with E-Money. He's a popular businessman from Southeast.
Doing what? What is he doing?
He's into so many things. He's into oil business, also entertainment as well. Yeah, he has a record label. And same thing with Joey Zarza and Escobar Smith.
What are those 2 ones doing?
What are they doing? The 2 of them. They're also businessmen as well. And they are into nightlife business. Yeah. So you're going to be rating them from best to worst.
Well, I think I'm the worst person to ask this question because I'm not a night person.
You're not a night person, a socialite.
I know that the only thing I can say here is that, you know, SMEs, right? I know they're contributing to the growth of the economy. Okay, so if I'm going to rate any of them here, it's based on the you know the contribution that they make to the economy by employing a lot of people.
Yeah,
creating
employees.
Opportunities for people to learn, to upskill themselves, and to stay out of trouble. And I believe that they do what they do in different ways, just as we do our own in different ways.
Yeah.
So I do not have any information with which to rate them. Is it going to be on
you know what will happen?
Turnover? Is it going to be on the number of branches they have? Is it going to be on the consumer satisfaction index?
Okay.
Is it going to be based on their infrastructure? So what am I rating them on?
All right.
But in general, they are very important in our economy because they support the SME market and are the greatest employer of labor. And without them, no economy can thrive.
Okay, no problem.
And also remember, they manage stress. You know, a lot of people would have been having stress if they didn't have anywhere to go to.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
No problem. You've won. So let's move to the second game. The second game is called the This or That game.
Yes.
So here we ask you, we'll give you 2 options. You pick one. The only thing here is just that your response comes in as prompt as possible.
Okay.
Yeah, that's just it. So This or That, it's another opportunity for us to get to know more about you. So if you're ready, we can start. Are you ready?
I'm ready, please. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So best place to live in the East, Enugu or Owerri?
Enugu.
Egusi or Onubo?
Onubo.
Abacha pizza?
Pizza.
Suit or traditional?
Suit.
Clubbing or sleeping?
Again. Again.
But
I'll give it to you. Clubbing or sleeping. Okay.
Which one are you going for?
Club sleeping.
Club sleeping? Yeah. I haven't had this before. Okay, so call or text?
Sorry?
Call or text?
Call.
Call. Loyalty or respect?
Loyalty.
Chicken or goat's meat?
Chicken.
Egusi or bono?
Obono.
Fufu or amala?
Fufu.
Moi moi or akara?
Moi moi.
Puff puff or buns?
Puff puff.
Fried rice or jollof rice?
Fried rice.
Asun or nkwobi?
Asun.
Asun?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
You chose Asun over nkwobi?
Yeah, so nkwobi has known to share value.
Oh, God.
As soon as it's just nothing but leather
Okay.
that could have been used for something very useful.
Okay.
So,
All right. Let's get to the last game. The last game is called the impression game.
okay, fine.
Yeah. So, do you have any favorite performer, whether a musician, an actor, or a comedian? Do you have any?
Favorite?
Yeah.
In global contest or national contest? Or
Global. Global, anywhere, whether national or global.
Well, one of our revered actors we just lost, Onyeka Onwenu.
Onyeka Onwenu.
Was, you know,
Okay.
will be missed. Our
Yeah.
personal miss her.
Yeah, we do here
Yes,
in
our
our
personal
fear.
miss her, yes.
Okay, so here is a twist to this game.
Yes.
Whoever you choose, you would have to mimic that person for at least 30 seconds.
For at least 30 seconds.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so let's see. Can you do something?
Let me choose someone that I admire or what?
You already chose someone. You choose Onyeka Onwenu.
Oh.
Late Onyeka Onwenu.
That is the twist.
Yeah, that's a twist, yes.
And I have to mimic her.
Yeah. She also sings as well.
With my chorus voice.
Anyhow, just do something.
Well, Onyeka will stand for gender. She was gender specific. She knew what she wanted for her gender, and she stood by it. So I cannot recall how she was delivering the message, but I knew she was a little bit forceful at times.
Okay.
Talking about the ills of the society and how
Yeah.
we could all come together to make sure that
She is
we
a great
create
activist,
a
yeah.
better society. So she was quite vocal.
Mm-hmm.
And then one of the things that stood out for me, at least, was how the role she played in trying to make sure women are skilled up. She used to work with the Women's Center in Abuja and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So she has some innovation programs for the grassroots women and so on and so forth.
Okay.
But she would have said it in a way that I'm not able to replicate.
No problem.
Yes, but I'm so sorry to disappoint you.
No problem,
I
no
would have
problem. We
chosen,
totally understand. We understand.
I don't know who else I would have chosen.
Don't worry. Let's leave it for some other time.
Fair, I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, let's leave it for some other time. Okay. We've come to the end of the show.
Okay.
Thank you very much for
Thank you, Rochelle.
answering our call and coming to Uncat tonight.
Yes, thank you.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you, Rochelle. And then let me commend you for the wonderful work you're doing.
Okay.
For the perspective you are bringing to the whole thing and the clarity, being able to lead, the youths aright by creating an avenue for them to really educate, entertain, learn, and connect. So thank you so very much for having me.
It's our pleasure.
Thank you.
Yeah. So we've come to the end of the show for today and also for this week. It's been a great week. Next week, believe me, is going to be better. So make sure you go out, go have yourself a great weekend and watch out for Nka come next week. Yes, we are still in the month of telling the story of 042. We did that in June for Aba, and this month we are dedicating it to Enugu. So there is something that would also be happening on Monday, just as we had it this Monday. So fingers crossed. Let's see what we are up to come next week, Monday. Till then, my name still remains Rochelle, and please keep watching Afia TV. Good night.